about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Lee on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics.
Watch this.
And a mind.
Hello, and welcome.
Hello, guys.
We are here.
We are back tonight. How are you guys?
What up? What up? We are back indeed. We are back. We are back indeed. They thought it was over, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. Oh, yeah.
How are you guys feeling today?
I'm doing good, Dr. Joe.
Okay, that's good.
Like she's on a
Where you
lag
at, Dr. Joe?
Huh?
Where you at? It's a delay.
Really? I'm in the house.
Go out and come back.
Okay.
Look, you look kind of blurry. She look real blurry, don't she? She look real blurry. I can hear her, but the face wasn't moving on the thing. I can hear her though. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But everything going good with you though, Tula?
Yes, sir. No
What I want to send a special shout out to one of my number one fans, Jordan. What is up, Jordan, out there? Jordan, I know you might be listening. Want to let you know we back. Hey, every time I see Jordan, he comes up to me. He be like, "Hey, man, we back, man, we back." Yeah. He always tell me that or whatever. So I want to send a special shout out to Jordan in the building.
Hey, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Who's Jordan? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jordan's the number one fan. Jordan's one of the number one fans.
My number one fan?
He's one of my number one fans. He always come to me. He's like, "Hey, we back. So yeah, everybody doing okay out there.
What you eating? Ice cream?
Yeah, and I ain't supposed to be eating it. I had to take a break, man. Listen, today is has been a very
Stressful.
mentally. No, it ain't been stressful. It just it's a lot been going on. You ever have some of those days where you're trying to do one thing, and while you're doing that one thing, the phone will ring, which once you do another thing, and then the phone will ring another
every
thing.
day.
Before you know it, you're just trying to get this one thing done to the point where you just got to focus on this one thing, and like, yo, I can't answer this phone right now. I can get the one thing done, and just try to learn how to just get it done. So I've been productive today.
You sound like
and get some of the things done because that phone kept ringing, which is a good thing. But I'm just learning how to answer the phone, be like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, all right.
That's impossible
and get the main thing done, and then come circle back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Dr. Joe, I don't know what's going on with your camera, Dr. Joe. You looking all on the blurry side of the game. You got a new camera?
It's a different computer, that's why.
Oh,
it's my old
computer. You on that government computer? Is that the Obama computer? You know how they had the Obama phone? Is that the Obama computer?
It's my old computer, but let me take the background.
Yeah, it's very old.
It's definitely showing its age.
Yeah, it's showing its age a whole lot. Oh yeah, it's looking a hot mess. It's very slow and all. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why my new computer won't let me log in. So the new computer that has a great camera, it won't. But this one that's old, it lets me log in. So, or my phone. But I want to use the phone in case I want to send you something sometimes. But
so what you can do on that phone, the phone will actually allow you to it will allow you to upload it into the chat room, into the private chat room.
It kicks me out.
It kicks you out the private chat room.
What?
You want my email address? You want me to give you my email address so you can email them to me? Because your
Email you
camera
what?
right now is going through modifications.
Really?
Yeah.
It
All
don't
right,
look
right.
like
Let me log in through my phone, and if anything,
Currently
I'll just,
undergoing some modifications and all that stuff, but it's all good.
you know what, Love Doctor, I'm just gonna stay quiet because I've learned to stay quiet.
You learning, and that's what it's all about. She's learning. That's what it's all about, learning. If each one could reach one, and we could teach one. Yeah. That's what it's all about, Tuli. But I know you got a bunch of nice articles, bunch of nice stuff going on. I'm looking at the title that you picked for today's show. Explain and elaborate on that title a little bit, Tuli.
Actually, it was yeah, okay. What is the title? I'm sorry. Sexually unstable mentality in society. Yes. The resident Joe, who is our resident mental therapist, would definitely give us more insight on it. But it is definitely what it says. You know?
I don't know what that means.
All right. So there's a lot going on in the world today revolving around sexual mental issues and occurrences, and also it's just showing how unstable society is as a result of that. All this instability and the sexual behavior, I don't know what I want to be, it's a whole lot of things going on with people. I'm like, there she is. So, and also this month of October, well, I'll let the resident Joe talk about some of the things, but we are going into Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we have on our pink and lip purple for both causes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
that's why y'all walking around here looking like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. Okay. I'm glad y'all explained it to me now.
I thought you actually were wearing light pink because you were supporting it. I actually thought you were.
Oh, Domestic Violence Month. See, what a lot of people don't understand about domestic violence, that men are the number one victims of domestic violence.
Okay.
So,
I don't think
it's something that needs to be talked about. You know what I mean? Because women will try to make you think that it's about women and domestic violence, but the number one victim of domestic violence is men. Believe it or not. So I'm out there and in support of all of the men who out there being abused. You know what I mean? Listen, power to you. Keep standing. Don't let it get you down. Overcome.
Right. Are you abused? No, doctor.
Oh, they done tried it.
What they do?
Wow.
Oh, yes. Where did you get your facts from? That men were number one. I just don't.
That's not true. They do go through it, but it's not number one. They don't speak about it. Yes. They're affected by it tremendously. Yes. But they're not number one.
Who is number one, Dr. Joe, and where do you get your information from?
Well, I know we think about studying and, all this college stuff, but, throughout my whole entire life, I've worked in shelters. And right now I'm working in substance abuse community. And you do see a percentage of women with domestic violence a lot higher than males. It could be because men don't speak about it, that the percentages are off. No, but there's no facts. So we can't prove it or say that that's a fact because there's no facts to prove it.
It is facts. I told you I was a victim.
What?
Okay, but you're 1%.
Number one is looked down upon on society. It's looked down upon on society because society thinks, hey, you're a man, you're stronger than a woman. Why would you let a woman abuse you? I don't believe you. So it's not taken seriously. It's not taken seriously. And I'm a victim.
I
And
agree
like
on
even right
that.
now, I'm telling y'all not taking it seriously.
I'm not laughing.
Wait, you say you were a victim?
Yeah, I'm a victim.
I'm not laughing though. Now you see your facts are wrong. Now you're taking. See, this is how your word doesn't get validated because you're lying right now. I am not laughing at your abuse. If you need to talk to me, you know you can call me.
Tuli, what are you laughing at then, Tuli?
At the fact that you saying that we're laughing at you.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight.
I was laughing at the resident Joe trying not to laugh, but she was.
Y'all proving the point.
But
Y'all
I'm not
proving the
laughing
point.
at your abuse. I'm laughing at you.
Yes.
Y'all are proving my point.
But
Well-
no, we are here. We are here. We are here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What happened? Tell us what happened, so that we can
Talk to us.
clearly judge. Yeah, so we can see if you.
It was cut and dry what happened. I was a victim. Have Resident Joe, Tuli, have you young ladies ever been a victim of domestic violence?
Nah.
Not physically, but verbally, I feel like we all have.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Look up the word violence. You know what? Let's do this right now. Let's look up the word violence. We're not gonna do this. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it's domestic violence month. So let's look up the word violence.
Going to say about it is you have no idea how bad it affects a human being to be abused verbally, mentally. It'd be even worse than physically. But I'm saying,
whoa, are you serious? Are you?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it from a common ground. Let's establish common ground first. So first thing I want to do is I want to establish some common ground. Domestic violence month. That's what we're talking about. Domestic violence month. So in order to talk about domestic violence month, let's look up and see what the word violence means. Violence. Swift and intense force. Rough or injurious physical.
keep on reading.
Physical.
Keep on
Force,
reading.
Physical.
Keep on
treatment.
reading.
Physical.
You're not gonna do this.
Physical.
Treatment.
Physical.
Treatment. You can't do that. You can't use part of a definition. You use
Yes,
the whole.
thank
Violence
you.
is physical. Listen. So
Treat-
so a non-violent movement is the same thing as a violent movement. Is that what you're saying?
That
Before we
makes
go
no
any
sense.
further in the dialogue, we got to establish what violence is. We're talking about a physical act.
No.
You're
Why are you getting so abusive right now? You're raising your voice, and that's actually abusive. You are being a part of
Listen,
the demonstration
the word that
of
we're
what
talking
abuse
about-
can be.
The word that we're talking about is we're talking specifically about the word violence right now. So what
You're
y'all
being
gotta do?
violent. You're
We're
yelling.
talking about violence. Violence. Do you
You're
understand what a domestic violence charge is? When a police comes and arrest you for domestic violence,
You are
understand what violence
affecting
is.
my frontal lobe, the frontal part of my brain right now. Because
You
you're
first,
yelling.
what I first want to do, before we go any further in the conversation, I just want to make certain the premise of what we're talking about, violence, we're talking about something that's physical. The reason why I'm being, and I want to take it and break it down, because the reality of the matter is that there's a lot of people who misconstrue the word violence to mean something that's verbal. Violent does not mean verbal.
No, hold on.
There's
hold
two
on.
totally different.
Love that.
There's
girl.
two
Look at
totally
this.
different.
Love
So what
that,
I'm
girl.
talking about, before we go on in the conversation, I'm just specifically talking about the word violence. Now we can look up the word verbal next, but I want you to understand that violence is
sir.
physical.
Okay. I'm not gonna.
Now let's look up the word verbal. Can we look up
No,
the word verbal?
hold on, sir. The definition of violence in my definition, I don't know where it says behavior
count.
involving
Your definition don't
physically.
count.
It said you completely skipped the other ones. It says
I saw my skip.
Emotions are you didn't read the rest of it. And
all right, let me pull it back up. Let me pull it back up.
destructive,
Hold on, let me be fair.
natural-
Let me be fair. Let me pull it back up then. If you want the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th definition or whatever, let me pull it
No,
back
we
up.
got the same one. The first one that you had.
Let me pull it up.
As a matter
Give
of
us-
fact, what are 7 types of violence? Physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, spiritual. Like, what do you mean? You can't just read one sentence and then forget about. Keep on going down. Keep on going down.
Hold on. Can y'all see the screen?
It's kind of small.
And this is from dictionary.com. We can pull it up from other sources too. So I got swift and intense force. Go ahead.
Okay, keep on going down. You have to go down. As a matter of fact, can you put here the 7 types of violence? Can you please?
Nope.
What do you ask me to do? You asked me to scroll down, right?
Yeah, well, you were reading it before.
All right, well, tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop scrolling.
I can't.
Y'all can't see it?
That's enough right there. 2 is good for me because that's what
Okay.
you use.
Yeah.
Okay. The floor is yours, Dr. Joe. Go ahead.
What did you do? You took it out?
No.
He ain't using it no way. You could just tell him.
Go ahead. There you go.
Well, the definition I have here, right? I can't really see the one, so I apologize. I can't really read. I have my contacts, but I can't see it.
Oh, what website are you on? I'll go pull it up so everybody can see it. Are you on Google?
No, just well, what are you looking for there? How about you do this? How about you put there the question, what are the 7 types of violence?
That's not the question. Before we go on further, all I'm saying is that violence is physical.
No,
now
it's
we can
not.
go on. If you want to explore more stuff, we can. But I want you to understand that when I'm talking about violence, I'm talking about physical.
But
Violence
listen,
is
Something force, something's contact.
no violence.
Just
No.
Let me tell you something. An act of violence.
just listen.
Like what you're saying. You're saying what I want people to understand.
What
Is I want
dictionary
you
is
to
that?
understand. I want you to understand the reality of what things are, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to change the narrative, and I don't want anybody in the audience to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm saying before I pursue the conversation any further, I want people to understand that I'm coming from the aspect of the word violence representing force as something physical. Now that we've established where I'm coming from the word violence, now we can go ahead and you can start talking about your other stuff and how words hurt and all this other stuff. You're saying that words hurt more than violence. Go ahead.
No, I didn't say
Elaborate.
that. I said that words can affect a person even worse than physical violence. So being verbally violent can affect more than physical violence.
All right, stop right there.
But you're trying to tell. So like I said, there's 7 types of violence, right? Sexual.
Can I comment? Can I comment on something you just said?
We try to do the same thing. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to comment on something you just said. Why let you continue talking and I gotta wait 10 minutes later to address something you just said?
We feel the same way. So let's have this open dialogue. Go both ways.
Okay. Name one word that actually killed somebody.
What? Many.
Because you said words. Because you said words. You said words can affect more than violence. So name one word that actually killed somebody.
Idiot, stupid. It can take you to depression and kill yourself. Suicide.
Hold on. Think about what you're saying.
Bullying.
The word idiot does not kill anybody. The word depressed does not kill anybody. The word suicide does not kill anybody. It has to convert into something physical. People die as a result of violence, something physical, not the
killing
word.
yourself is not a violent act. It's just killing your.
Hold on. Did she just say killing yourself is not a violent act? Is that what she just said?
Okay, if you're not understanding mentally, it's not. You didn't mean to be physically violent to yourself. You just want to stop that trauma or whatever is in your mind at that moment. You're not seeing the bigger picture.
You don't want to.
Go ahead. I allow you. Go ahead.
You're not seeing the bigger picture. I'm
seeing the bigger picture. I'm seeing the bigger picture right now. But go ahead. Y'all elaborate. Go ahead.
You can't talk an idea from your perspective. You really have to be and other people's perspective. What's violent for you might be different for someone else. So you can't say that word.
Let me ask you this. A car do we all know what the word car is, or are you gonna tell me a car could be something different from someone else? How far do we want to take this? So a car is a car different to me than someone else?
Is running someone with a car physical violence? Was it an accident? Not everything physical is violent. Some is accidental. So it's not, your definition is incorrect as well, because not everything physical is violence. So somebody running you over with a car is not physical violent.
Yeah, sex is not violent unless you.
So that's incorrect too.
That's physical.
Violence when it gets you to a point where you can't anymore, and it actually, physical violence takes you to a mental state where it affects your life. That's where it becomes, because you playing around with your wife or your girlfriend, like wrestling fight, you being physical, it doesn't mean it's violent.
So we got people. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Sorry for like interrupting you or trying to talk over you, but you didn't let us talk.
That's fine. We have people that have definitions, and people agree in comments that verbal abuse is more damaging than physical abuse.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And I can agree with that, because that stays with you a little bit longer. You know, if I do something
yeah,
I hit you, cause you to, if I get into this fight, it's like boom, it's over. But when you constantly,
it makes your brain change when you're verbally speaking to someone and it affects it emotionally. Your brain starts shrinking. You can't think right. It's a lot of things. So
that's probably why was wrong with Love Doctor. He was abused. He was abused, so that's probably why his brain was shrinking.
I'm sorry. I apologize for whoever abused you. If it's a woman that touched you, honestly, would not like anyone to go through it. But reality is that other people have been abused like you, but verbally.
Yeah, some people like physical sex. They do. They do. Some people do.
There are some people that like kind of things.
Yes. So you don't have to say, Love Doctor, you're done. You don't have anything else to say.
I'm letting y'all talk. I'm watching what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching what's going on. So y'all forget, I'm a certified life coach. I know how to deal with this right here.
All right.
So what I want y'all to do, all the men who out here watching what's happening right now, this right here is not even a conversation about domestic violence. This is not a conversation about verbal abuse. What this is a conversation about, a woman who desires to argue and disagree with anything just for the right to do it. That's what this is. She is disagreeing just because she likes the fact that she just likes to disagree. I can tell her my favorite color is blue, and she will, the color blue is really this in another language. It's blue. It's just a disagreement just for the sheer fact of disagreeing. Think about it. At this point, think about it. What I'm saying is either makes sense or it's absolutely the most idiotic thing that had ever been said. What I'm saying is specifically violence is an act of something physical. That's all I'm saying. She disagrees. You're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, you're so wrong. At this point, I'm an idiot because I don't know what violence is. So it's no point in to continue a conversation with someone who doesn't even understand that they can't get it right. I'm an idiot because I think violence is something physical. I'm an idiot for that. So there's no point. At this point, there's no point to continue the conversation.
You did not complete the whole definition. If it stopped there, we wouldn't be able to say, we would be crazy arguing with you. It is more to it, but you just said it's just physical. But it also mentioned treatment. This is your definition. You shared that with us. If you wanted to not have a fight, then you should have showed us a definition that just said violence is physical. But that's not what you showed us.
Yeah. We weren't trying to argue, but people are listening, and information has to be correct.
And it's not about if you can look at it that way. We can also say this right here. This is a situation of a man never being wrong or not admitting that he's wrong. How about that? That's the other side of that coin.
Or feeling like you can't learn from a woman because I'm a woman.
And then we don't know anything.
But yeah, but it's it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I want to just tell everyone out there if they've been physically abused, verbally abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, mentally abused, reach out and get help, because it's something that can lead into, something very serious. Like, we did the Suicide Awareness Month last month. All
Yep.
these things lead to that.
They do. Yep. That's fine. That is absolutely okay. All right. So he gonna get his hands off. We ain't gonna hear you crunching though. Let's see. So, with that being said, according to our topic, he is.
Remember what week this is?
I know, right? I'm gonna try to be. All right. So a lot of going on in the news. First of all, let's start with this. Did y'all hear about Velma on Scooby-Doo? She was a lesbian. She's going to be on the next one, I guess, the updated one. They got a movie coming out, Scooby-Doo, that they're going to have Velma as a lesbian. But according to the person that started, I guess, and wrote it, said that she has always been one. But if you look and you see and you look at Velma, you can see how that could have been so. Because they had the pretty blonde girl, with the what's his name? Freddie? Is that his name? I can't think of his name. Maybe it is Freddie. Not sure. But yeah, she is definitely going to be a lesbian in the movie.
Wow. It doesn't, I mean, you know what? It doesn't surprise me anymore.
You know what?
So it doesn't surprise me anymore. It's just, this is everywhere now. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I grew
mean,
up with
Yep, we did. We grew up with that. We grew up with that.
Makes no sense.
I didn't know she was a lesbian. People are saying that. So so I thought it was okay. Let's move on to Dwayne Wade's son. He said that he turned off the comments on his social media page. Zaya. I forgot what the first Zion was the child's first was the name, I think. The boy's name, but I think it's Zaya now. Yes, it's Zaya now. But anyway, he said he turned off his comments on his social media because to protect his mental health.
Were they attacking her?
I mean, I don't know if they got a chance to, but they probably would have. But my whole point of it is that he would think that the comments will cause him to have a mental problem, not necessarily changing of your sex. That's not mental already.
Right.
Yeah. So he turned off his comments. This boy is modeling modeling as a girl.
Who?
The boy. His son. His son. Zaya. Wade is modeling now as a boy. I mean as a girl. My apologies. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Whole gay agenda being pushed. This is all a part of legislative racism, believe it or not. This is something that's planned. This is not something just spur of the moment. This is all strategized and things of that nature is what it actually is.
An agenda.
Absolutely.
I, mm, mm, mm. It's extremely sick. It's extremely. It's just.
It
It's
is.
real.
It's sickening. Yes, it is sickening. Yes, it's sickening.
Yeah.
It's. They all are just. They all just sick. I don't know where his mom is and what she has going on, but mm-mm, mm-mm. This is sick.
It's
This
everywhere,
is. It is everywhere.
especially in the schools. My friend just took out their kids out of the school. My brother's taking out the kids out of the school system because it's getting really bad. I don't know if Georgia, but in here in Jersey, it's getting really bad. They're changing their curriculums into teaching our kids that it's okay to like boy and boy. It's okay to have that. It's really bad. So
Are they
they're
putting curriculum now up
yeah,
there?
yeah. So one of my coworkers took both kids out of the school, so she's doing homeschool, and my brother's taking his kids out too. It's really bad,
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
horrible.
So okay, speaking of our topic, sexually unstable mentality of society. Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown.
Talk to him. What happened to Antonio Brown?
He exposed himself in a pool in Dubai. Of course, it wasn't with no sisters, but whatever. He's been accused of sexually harassing hotel guests in a Dubai swimming pool. It's a white lady, of course, in a hotel. They have the footage of him. The video shows him naked in the pool, fondling and harassing a woman, but she laughed throughout the encounter. At one point, he lifted the lady in the air and he threw her in the water. Horseplay in the water. And she swam away. And then he exposed himself to her and everybody else in the pool. And they said that he just met the lady, and that she was very upset after the incident.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tuli. I'm googling this right now.
Okay.
I don't know if that's consistent. Hold on.
Okay, sure.
Putting this up. Let me find this thing.
Yeah, I think I saw that article in a picture. It was disturbing. They do blur it out.
All right, so I ain't never heard of this, Tuli. I ain't never heard of this, Tuli. But before I do anything, then Dr. Joe, is it some inappropriate pictures or something? Because I ain't trying to put nothing up, inappropriate.
Well,
And get strikes.
well,
Get
they don't
banned. I ain't
show.
trying to do that.
They don't show
All
it
I'm gonna
like.
say is, if they was at the pool, it sounded like they were playing at the pool. Everybody was playing naked at the pool. So
Not everybody, just him. Not everybody.
no, it sounded like she was playing it too. If he was naked, she was in there with him playing.
Really?
But she wasn't playing naked. She wasn't.
It don't matter. If I'm butt naked in the pool and you come over here and start playing with me, the fact that you ain't butt naked don't mean nothing. You still playing with a butt naked dude in the pool. Ain't like you ran out and jumped out the water and left the pool. Now you jumped in the water and came over there jumping all on me.
Boy, stop. But no, they said that he was playing with her, throwing
That's
her.
what I'm saying. They were playing. They were horse playing in the pool together. That's what we said the same thing. If one person is naked and y'all horse playing, I mean y'all down with it. Sound like the people who were offended perhaps were people who were uninvolved in the situation, maybe walking by as spectators, is what it sounds like. But it sounds like there was no offense between the parties that were involved.
What did you find? What were you going to show us?
I ain't putting that up. I seen some in TMZ, everything blurred, but I don't want to get no strike. I ain't putting that up. But y'all,
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware that they were both playing. So that's a different story. I thought he was being, maybe he was going through a mental part of his life when he randomly.
Ain't this your story?
He is. What do you mean by that, love doctor?
I mean, you sound like you the one telling me about the story. I ain't know nothing about it.
What are you talking about?
Whose story is this? This Resident Joe story? This Thule's story?
Does it matter?
It
What
does matter because I thought it was your story, Thule. So I'm asking you questions. But if it's not your story, I don't want to direct the question.
He's being sarcastic.
You didn't ask any questions that weren't answered.
I just asked the question that was there. I said, Thule, is this your story? You ain't answered the question.
What is wrong with you tonight? Huh? Are you okay?
Not okay.
You over there eating processed food. You need to let that go.
Yes. Actually, yes. That actually can cause addiction, just like sex addiction in the brain. Stop eating those processed foods. Dang. Tuli's right.
This is a special healthy thing that I'm eating, but she's absolutely right on the processed food thing. So I'm not playing that at all. You're absolutely right on that. Y'all do what y'all can to stay healthy. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. So that's some good advice, Tula.
You know, everybody who watches this show, they already know we are uncut, uncensored.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how we go. You know, that's how we go.
But Love Doctor, real quick, can you read what you were reading? Just to clarify the story about this man onto why he was naked. Like, can you read it? Like, because
let me see. Let me see if I put the article up. Let me see if I can get it so it can be read.
Because what I understood from the article was that he randomly was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whose story is this? Can whoever brought this topic up, this is what y'all wanted to discuss. So whoever story this is, can y'all take the lead on this? This is not my story. I'm obeying Dr. Joe. I put it up. Okay.
Oh gosh. Whew, okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. See right here? You see this? Right here. See this? See that? Yep. Gotta take some medication. See that? You see that? Medication. Yep. Medication. Woo! I need it, baby. Medication. Yeah.
Come over through the phone because
baby. Anyway, so yeah, let's do it. All right, yeah. Okay, so in regards to still talk about mental, let's watch that video I sent you about Herschel Walker's son. Let's talk about that, okay? A little bit.
All righty, here we go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
So you sent me two different videos. What is the title of it? Because neither one I see is titled Herschel Walker's son.
That's exactly what it's titled. Let me just make sure.
So I see it's both domestic violence. Both of them says domestic violence. A domestic violence short film called The Mirror, and another is a domestic violence short film too.
The one that says Herschel Walker's son.
Let me go down. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I see it now. I see it further down. All right.
Yeah, to say this statement, Republicans who brushed off.
I see it. Here we go. It's not updating my queue for whatever reason. Let me log out, or let me hit out and let's try reloading it. Bear with us right now, ladies and gentlemen. Bam, here it go. All right, there we go.
Yeah, to say this is a bombshell is an understatement. Republicans who brushed off earlier reports from the AJC, from MSNBC, and other outlets of Walker's history of violence, his erratic behavior, his lies, his exaggerations on the campaign trail. They're now very, very nervous about his midterm chances, not just because the Daily Beast alleges an act of brazen hypocrisy from a candidate who says he wants to support a total ban on abortion, but also because Herschel Walker's 23-year-old adult son has been so outspoken the last 2 days in condemning his father for running in the first place.
So you bring up his son. I do want to play a part of a video that he released just a couple of hours ago, doubling down essentially on what he tweeted out earlier. Let's watch that for just a moment, and then we'll talk.
He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives.
So at this point, Greg, it's not just this woman making these allegations, which have been verified by the Daily Beast. We here at NBC have not yet seen some of these documents to verify that. But then you have this coming from inside his own family. Wondering how Republicans are reacting to all of this.
Yeah, it's raw. It's hard to watch. And we're not sure the impact of what this might look like on the campaign trail. But we already knew, even before this, there's a significant number of Republicans, conservatives, who are skeptical of Herschel Walker's candidacy, who are either going to skip the vote, they're going to vote for Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, or they're going to vote for the Libertarian. That split ticket trend was showing up in polls from the AJC and other outlets even before this. And now we could start seeing Republicans more aggressively seek to distance themselves from Herschel Walker.
Okay. So, what y'all think about that?
I'm tired of seeing the smear campaigns. I was looking at his opponent, whose name is Raphael Warnock. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
So literally every time I'm on YouTube, it always Herschel Walker did something to his wife, and then I came and found out researching Raphael Warnock. He also has domestic violence charges. He's also been again with his wife. He actually ran his wife foot over in a car.
Absolutely.
So it's more so of all these different things. I think the conclusion of the matter is, will this be enough to give Raphael Warnock the edge to win the election, or will Herschel Walker still get the Republican vote and will he still win the election? So it's kind of like, right now, for those of you who don't know, in the state of Georgia, we're literally about 3 weeks out from election day. So right now the smear campaigns are really, really going hard. My real take will be more something along the lines of, looking further down, voting in itself. Is there a right way to vote? Are there particular voting strategies? And if there are voting strategies, how can we strategize our vote is my question.
Question.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know, but I know that a lot of people that he actually just might win this thing because of the way he because of what the party represents. Not necessarily him, but what the party's values are, what the party represents, and what the party wants. And I believe that they will put him in because he will be easy to make a puppet, and do whatever the party wants him to do, swing this way, go that way, whatever. I believe that's why. I believe that's how he's going to win, because they want to unseat these, Democrats and get the control back. So he's just part of the plan. I don't think they really have any kind of trust that he's going to be like the politician to do whatever they want, but he would definitely be I think he would definitely be one they can control. And that's why he's pushed.
Resident Joe, do y'all think there's ways that you can strategize your vote?
Ways to
To be
satisfy
honest
your
with you,
goal.
I don't think so.
So what I will tell y'all is through my observation of the system, because I've been researching legislative racism and how it works, I have seen and I have noticed patterns of how people who are non-black strategize their vote. They have different things, and as you can tell, I don't know, maybe some of you guys have actually watched the House of Representatives, some of their sessions, the Senate, some of their sessions. They will have different issues they'll vote on. You'll actually have different issues. A prime example will be issues such as the impeachment trials, right? The impeachment of Donald Trump. They had to get together and vote. There were some people that there were some elected officials who decided to withhold their vote. They decided not to vote yay or nay, and they were considered honorable in doing so. So actually, why is it that they do it all the time and withhold their vote from different issues, but yet when we do it, automatically we are, considered as someone is, oh, y'all don't care about the system, oh, you're lazy and all this other stuff. You look at the history of different faithless electors, all different types of things. These people are really, really considered martyrs for what it is they actually do by politically withholding their vote. Those are some strategies that they look upon and they actually admire. They consider those actions as admirable. But when someone who is non-white chooses to exercise and strategize their vote by doing the same, they're automatically considered someone that's just a despicable, poor, lousy, worthless person.
It's true. I can see that. I can see that. Yep. I can see that happening. Craziness. Yep, but he probably will win. I really think he will.
Another thing that I want to make people aware of, or a question that I have to y'all, is, in your opinion, when you are voting, if you choose to exercise the write-in option on the ballot, in your opinion, is that still considered the act of voting, or that's not considered the act of voting to you guys?
Yeah, I think but it won't be counted, but yeah, usually it's not, because you have to still have to register or write in person, but yeah, no, it's still vote. That's what I vote for.
So then those are other strategies and options that one may have, is to consider exercising that write-in option. A lot of people think I have to vote red or I have to vote blue. You can actually go and you can exercise the write-in option also if you'd like to. You don't have to feel forced as this is being a red versus blue thing. You can actually choose and select and write in your own. As one thing that I consider, and I know Rod Tony had brought this to my attention a long time ago. He actually, taught me different strategies about the voting system and how that works. Some things I can actually share with y'all that I've learned over the years, which really ain't much, is when it comes to voting, things that you can consider is, it's kind of like if I say, Resident Joe and Thule, I'm going to take y'all out to dinner. Y'all want to go to Fogo de Chao or y'all want to go to Ruth Chris? Y'all decide, you vote on it. And what y'all answer be, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting y'all vote. But if you actually look at it, I'm really not letting y'all vote. I just gave y'all two options. If I really allowed you to vote, then I would say, hey, I'm going to take you to a restaurant wherever you want to go. And it's a great chance you would not even pick the options that I gave you. So don't be deceived and don't let society deceive you in thinking that you're actually a free thinker because you're choosing and you're researching the selection that the people have already given you and they've already selected for you. It would make absolutely no sense for you to consider the candidates who they've given you, whether they're red or blue, when you literally did not do that at all. Good examples of this would also be, if you look further down the line, we have a presidential election coming up in a couple more years. Who are you going to vote for? If I was able to pick my own candidate, that's something different. But what you really mean is, who are you going to vote for out of the people I'm going to give you the options to choose? That's totally different.
You know what's funny? When we coach the parents, it's like they're treating us like kids. Because when we coach the parents, we tell them like you got to give them two options that you still want. You like both options. So you just got to give them like, okay, so you want them to eat bananas or apples. Don't give them chocolate because that's bad. But the kid chocolate. But so we tell them like, you know, you got to train them to still choose what you want, but give them two choices so they can think like they're choosing. So they are they're playing with our mind in a way. Now that you say that, it brought that to mind.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And another thing too, even if you go in there, you have a candidate that you want to write in, that person still has to submit something to the county saying that they want to be a write-in candidate. So if you put it in there, like if I just go and say, okay, I want to be a write-in candidate, then I get my people to vote for me. But you definitely have to submit it to your county to say that you want to be a write-in candidate. Not just you can put your name, put people's name on all day, but if they don't tell the county that I'm going to run, I want to be a write-in, then they're not gonna count the vote. So
Yeah. Another thing too is a pattern that I've seen as I've gotten over and learned more about the whole political system and how it works through legislative racism. One thing, an observation that I've noticed is the way poor people vote is totally different than the way rich people vote. The difference that I've seen is poor people vote for who they see on TV. Rich people vote for who they see listed on their cell phone contacts.
Kind of like.
So
okay.
I had the opportunity to actually.
Is there a study about that?
This is something from my own observation that I've seen through experience firsthand.
Oh, okay.
So this is something that I've seen because literally, in other words, think about that. Poor people vote for who they see on TV. Rich people vote for who they see in their contacts on their cell phone. If you actually want to vote for anybody, let's start all the way down to the local. Believe it or not, these local people, such as Herschel Walker, local people such as Raphael Warnock, local people such as the commissioners in your county, local people as such as the sheriff in your county, these are people who you can literally meet. These are people who are literally at every single political event, rally, one to meet the public. They're campaigning. These are people that are publicly campaigning. And what the people who publicly campaign do, because I've been to the campaigns, they literally give you their contact information. Here's the number to my office. Here's my personal cell phone number in some cases. I've gotten personal cell phone numbers from a lot of different political figures right here locally. They're in my cell phone. Only vote for the people who are in your cell phone contacts. It makes absolutely no sense to vote for someone that you see on TV and you absolutely can't contact if you need anything at all. That would be stupid.
First of all, two questions. One question. Are you rich?
Ad stream? No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay, so
I'm seeing in the queue down at the bottom. Is Tony Screen black? Does he want to be added? I can't tell. Or is he still setting up his phone? I see it, but the screen is black, so I guess.
And about that Fogo thing, are you inviting us?
Ooh. Does Tony want to be added? Or is he still setting up his phone? Tula, can you help me?
No, I cannot, because I'm not Tony.
I'm gonna see. Should I add him on or not or what?
I don't. If he's there, he can hear you. I'm sure he's like.
The screen is just black though. I see the screen is black. So I mean, his phone is there, but I don't know if it's on.
Okay.
Or not.
Okay. So now go back to what you were talking about with being in yourself. Okay. You have people's numbers and they've been on TV. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think you have the same, even if I don't get it personally, I still have access to your to reach you in your office or things like that. So I mean, I vote for a lot of people. Well, you know what? I take that back.
Yeah, I know you just talking. I'm listening.
But are these people really reachable? Is that something?
We got 23 people in here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And once you finish hitting the like button, when you hit the subscribe button, I want you to hit the cash out. Oh,
Cash
go
up.
ahead, ladies.
Tony's not here, but he would be like, hit the cash up. Imitating you. Imitating you. But listen.
Hilarious.
But listen, is this attainable? Are these people really reachable? Were you, like, can you reach any of these people that you're voting for? Is that
so
realistic?
I'll tell you, I'm being realistic. I know that Thule has political figures in her phone. So Thule, those political figures in your phone, are you able to reach them?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Joe, I have political figures in my phone. I'm able to reach them.
So are you able to?
As a matter of fact, I some of them send me text messages like, if it's different events coming up, say, hey, I need some young men to come out. Will you come out and support this event? Want to get more young men to come out? Some different things. So yes, you can reach them, but
No, but I'm saying, like, my question is, like, if you need something, not if they need something from you or campaigns if you need something, are you able to call and be like, hey, I need this from you. Can you help me out?
So let me tell you how.
I'm sorry, just before and are these people someone you can vote for, or they're just running and didn't make it there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to know, who do you have in your phone? Is this person really a person you can call and you can vote at the same time, or is it someone that is in that field or that area?
Like you said, when the lady said, hey, I need some people to come. That's what your contact told you. Hey, I need to get some bodies into place.
So what it'll be a good exercise, Dr. Joe, is the answer to your question is yes. What'll be an even better exercise is if it's something that you've never done before, then I would encourage you maybe to consider trying it.
No,
in other words, I'm sorry, say what?
So I had a friend that he had access to people like this, but the times that they were communicating was, for example, hey, you're having a camp in Philly, can I come out, and your camp, because there's a lot of people that are going to be there, so it's going to look good that I'm in a camp that you're helping the community. Or hey, I'm about to do a basketball camp, I'll put in the money for the bouncy, but it's also beneficial to that person because it looks good on them in the community. What I'm saying is, like, can you really relate to this person, or is this people getting something out of it? Because I've experienced that. Yes, this friend of mine was able to speak, communicate, friends, cool, but really they were taking something out of that communication or relationship.
I think there's something to think about too when you do have those people, that there's just so much they're going to be able to do regardless. I mean, if I say, okay, I want to do, just say for instance, I want to, I'm friends with the sheriff and I want to have a ticket taken off or something. I mean, it's just so much. It's just only so much that a person can do in those positions because they're in that position. So I think what the people, the contacts that I have, I don't have those thinking that I will call them for, just, anything that I need. But if it was something major, pressing, very strictly important, has something to do with the people I know, my group, then yes, I will be making a call to you, and I will need you to do that for me. If you cannot do it, I need you to set it up so that Bob can do it for me, for you. That has got to happen.
Facts.
Facts.
Resident Joe, what is something that I want you to get, and the whole analogy of what I was saying is, poor people vote for people that they see on TV versus rich people vote for people who they actually have contact with. They're able to contact. So I want you to get and understand the whole premise behind what I'm saying is the strategy is actually voting for people and navigating so you can actually meet people and get them in your phone. So let me tell you my personal experience. Because this is something I never knew. I've never knew this. This is something that was actually taught to me Ra Smith actually taught me some of this stuff. This is something I never considered. But since I've been doing it, it actually expanded my way of thinking, and it can expand your network and brought it to a whole nother level. What I'll tell you is this. It starts off by something election season. Election season is when all of them are on the streets. All of the politicians, they're attainable, they're touchable. You can literally find them and take pictures with them, shake their hand, all that stuff. You'll get their contact information. In return of getting their contact information, typically what they're doing is they're running a campaign and they need funding for their campaign.
Mhm.
You make contributions to their campaign. They remember the people who make contributions to their campaign. In addition to them remembering the people who make contributions to their campaign, they remember and they know who you are because you're constantly interacting with them and you're taking and you're visiting more and more of their different events. They know you. Your face is familiar. Your name rings a bell. I might not even know your name, but I know your face. Or I see the text message exchange and I can go back, and when you do text me a month or 2 months later, I can see the exchange that we already have in our phone. Be like, oh, okay, I know the history of this person, so forth and so on. So it's saying you're voting for someone who you actually can make a contact or connect with. Rich people use this strategy by voting for the people that they actually have contact and connections with.
Gotcha.
That is the whole strategy behind it versus poor people do dumb stuff like, you know what? This ad said this person right here with domestic violence. This other person ad said this dude right here, son, is gay, had abortions. This what this is saying. This what this is saying. Oh man, oh buddy, these guys are just horrible.
You can't do that because like some people don't have time to educate themselves. Like,
Hold on, stop. Let's break it up. What I like to do is I like to slow down because things can run really, really fast. So when you say you can't do that, what in specifically are you referring to that you can't do?
Generalizing the poor people as ignorant.
Ding, ding, ding. You just said you're not rich, so
Can't do that. You can't generalize. There's very smart people that do not have
So Dr. Joe, let me ask you, what I just gave, the example of what I just gave behind rich people vote based on the contacts they have on their phone and poor people vote for who they see on TV. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand your point. Definitely.
Okay. So if what I'm saying is making sense, then just leave it at that and say, okay, you make sense. What's up with why you got to turn disagreeable? What is this disagreement coming in at?
Because the poor people are not understanding. They probably feel like you attacking them. So what I'm saying is, hey guys, what the love doctor is saying is like, hey, let's wake up and be smart and vote for the right people. They're not saying you guys are stupid. It's just that he's saying it in a way that is kind of harsh, but he means right. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So from right here, because this ain't going too well, and I'm on some drugs. So we need to clean up our house. Okay, we need to sweep around our own front door. What's the problem? What's the problem, love doctor? And people, y'all can call us. Y'all can help us because apparently there's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is today, but we're gonna fix it. We're going to definitely put our effort into fixing it. We're going to fix our house before we go outside and try to fix other folks today. Okay? Because I don't like it. I don't like the fact that love doctor feels that every time we say something, it's attacking him and that we are just breathing to be disagreeable.
No.
And to contradict, no, but let me tell you about some things that I look. I'm not going to say I'm a person. I'm not going to say I just like when I do things and look at things, I just like to see both sides of something. I don't want to have just one side of it. I always like to present both sides of things. So in some of that time, it could be inappropriate depending on who I'm speaking with. And it could be necessary depending on who I'm speaking with. my point is that I just like to have both sides of something before I lean to one side. I want to, like you say this because the person says, no, go, you got something to say? I'm sorry. I'm losing it. I'll be back because
There's always two sides of the story. In order to understand the story, you got to listen to the two sides. But I'm not contradicting anything you're saying, Love Doctor. I just feel like there's an extra story to it in order to, because you have to understand our audience. They're not rich, so they're gonna be like, oh, so you're saying we're stupid. So what I'm saying, like, you're right. Hello, people, vote for someone that's reasonable. That's what I get it. You're right. But what I'm saying is, like, not every poor person is stupid or ignorant. Some are very intelligent. But at the end of the day, like you said at the beginning, I feel like they're giving us what to choose, like apples and you told us. They give us exactly what they want us to vote. So can we make a difference at the end of the day?
But yes, I got that. But the thing
Do
that
you
I'm bringing
think
up.
you think he's mad at me?
No. I think that no, I don't think that he is mad at you. I just did not know. I just wanted to know where that comment of I forgot what he said. But anyway, whatever he said, I got I got I got that he feels. I'm so sorry because this is so serious. I got that he I got that he feels that we attack him. Oh my gosh, I gotta get my life. Okay, hold on. That we're always disagreeing, with him.
Yeah.
Or being disagreeable. But that's not my intent. That's why I think I said it earlier. I think I said it that I just try to look at both sides of something, of the thing, of whatever it is that we're talking about, just to just to get both sides. It's not necessarily to fight. It's not necessarily to fight. It's not to fight because I don't want to fight, But I think that he thinks that we are fighting him. So,
Yeah.
go ahead. So please correct me if I'm not right.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he feels like we're trying to contradict him to everything he says. I don't. That's not our intent. Well, my intention and Tuli's intention, she just said, is not our intention at all.
So don't let us speak for you. Speak, Love Doctor, so we can get this right.
No, so you think he's being rebellious? Can I ask you a question, Love Doctor?
You just did.
Well, can I ask you another one?
Yes, you can ask another one.
What can you please explain to me what a submissive woman is? Can you explain to the audience what a submissive woman is, and the definition? I feel like a woman, in order to get married, needs to be submissive and get to that point. Can you give me your definition of that?
I think the greatest illustration for you being a female would probably be to seek out that of a woman who's been married and seasoned and experienced, who's actually been living out that, and maybe have a conversation with her in regards to submission and a way to go about doing it. If I was talking to a male, it'd probably be a different answer,
But how should she
act? She did that. I don't think she had. Okay. She asked you a question that you can
and
answer.
I answered the question. I answered the question. Did I not answer the question? I answered her question.
Your answer was telling her to ask a woman. She can't ask a married woman what your opinion is about something. She asked you what
I just gave her my opinion. I said, hey, in other words, there is another married woman on the show that you can literally ask on the show to what I'm saying?
But Love Doc, can you describe a submissive woman? Can you describe one as a male? Like, because I've spoken to Tuli, she's told me this. But you as a male, what is a submissive woman to you? Describe her.
Let me ask you this, because it's like a segue. It went from, us talking about the political arena, and it went into
We're moving on. We can't.
no, which is fine. But I'm curious, because what I am is I'm a certified life coach, and I'm noticing how that illustration or how that friction in your mind triggered something in your mind where you automatically went to submission. And well,
It
what
brought
do
me
you
a
think submission?
flashback. It brought me a flashback. Yep, because I was having lunch with my coworkers, and somebody's birthday, so we went out for lunch, and we were talking about submissive, and one of the supervisor actually brought that up, and I don't know if she's listening. If she is, well, she said that the man that she's looking for requires for her to become submissive. And then she pointed at me. You can ask Joanna about what me in particular. She said, I'm not willing to be submissive. She's married. So with a man that, yeah. So she said, because I'm not going to be submissive, I'm not doing everything a man tells me to do. So, so then the girl asked me, what do you think is being submissive? So that's why I'm asking you as a male to give me your opinion or your description.
According to the definition, it says submissive, ready to conform to the authority or will of others.
Okay.
Meekly obedient or passive. The reason I gave you that answer is because that answer requires two different meanings depending on whether you're talking to a male or if you're talking to a female.
Yeah, well, Tony,
sometimes it's all about different examples. What a female, in terms of marriage, in my opinion, is a female. She needs to literally sit down. And you know what? Let me preface my comment by saying this, and I shouldn't have to say this. It kind of frustrates me that I have to say this. But this is not all situations. It's not saying that all marriages are structured like this. It's not saying this is the only thing that marriage is only about. This is not what this is. What this is as a response to the question that you're and the topic that you're asking, and you elaborate more about the conversation you had earlier with your friend.
Mm-hmm. Well, coworker.
What I would say is that a woman needs to consciously ask herself, is she comfortable with being told to do things that she doesn't want to do?
Absolutely. Right.
If she does not want to be told what to do, and it's something that she doesn't want to do, then she should not get married.
Well,
on the male side of things, on the male side of the aspect, if a male is really doesn't want to be held responsible, accountable for the actions of others, he needs to consider, say, hey, I don't like the fact that what somebody else does affects me, or it's a reflection of me, or I'm held accountable, and now my house is out of order for something that somebody else did, but that's a reflection of me. These are different dynamics and different roles and different things that people should actually consider, because society as a whole will sometimes look at marriage as this lovey-dovey thing and all the good things about it, but it really don't understand sometimes in that regards. Some people will say that if a woman, she's not submissive, or she has to submit, and all this stuff is a bad thing and things like that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it'd be a good thing. I think that just realistically, a woman should sit down and just genuinely have a conversation within her own self to say, hey, am I comfortable with being told to do things that I don't want to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my question to them. Some said, heck no. And some said, she said, yes and no. I said, the kind of man you want requires you to be a submissive woman. And then, so it was a good conversation. And I said, I'm gonna ask the love doctor and Tony as a male opinion.
So here's what I can tell you. Here's what I can tell you too, as observations, the way that a guy thinks. Guys thinks along the times of they take small incidents and they use those smaller things as a microcosm of what would happen, how someone respond if it was on a bigger aspect.
Bigger aspect is
I think if a bigger
what, Julie?
bigger aspect as an example for like what?
Okay, so an example would be, let's say a woman, me and a woman, we can't agree on the word violence mean, if it's something physical or not. Let's just say that's something that's petty. It means absolutely nothing. But in the end, if a man sees we can't even agree on the word violence, so if we can't agree on something that's really petty, what if we have really bigger issues, like we have issues, the kids not behaving and stuff like this, or finances not where they're supposed to be? It's being that we can't agree on something that's small, this is a microcosm of something that could be really, really large and really, really a problem. And what a woman needs to look at, a woman needs to look at something that says, hey, this guy is an idiot because he doesn't even know what this word is. There's no way I'm going to allow this idiot to lead me or have authority over me when this idiot can't even get this issue right. There's no way I'm going to listen to an idiot in a larger scale of things, because this is going to be my head. And I don't want an idiot to be a head. So you have to look at all those different things. I'm just using this right here as an example.
That was a powerful example.
That's a great example because two things. One thing, that's a great example. Number one, I noticed that you read all the words in that definition for some reason. I don't know. The other definition of violence, we just got 1-2 words. That's fine. That's your choice. And two, with this definition of the word that was in there, passive. Mm-hmm. Yep, passive. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, because we could have been passive and been like, what's the use of having the full definition? We just go what he said. Because
So I think there are beautiful ways that women can learn how to exercise their femininity. In the sense of that's very attractive way women can really learn how to exercise their femininity, but the average woman, not all, but the average woman operates on the masculine energy. And the reason why they operate on the masculine energy is not because it's really not because they're a bad person. It's really because of society and legislative racism. Is
You're
what
right.
the reason really is. If you think about it, the black man, the black woman, they're constantly battle, and there's constant enemy, and there's constant different things. There's bickering that's going on. To even when you get along to the point of society of what's going on, there's so much friction in between the home. And I think it's really, really important to see and understand legislative racism, what it is and how it actually operates in education, how it operates when it comes to religion, how it operates when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to economics, when it comes to politics, when it comes to war, when it comes to a lot of different several topics. We need to understand how that actually operates when it comes down to sex. This thing controls a lot of different aspects of our lives, and we need to see what it is, because it's a beautiful thing to see people on the same page. It's just a shame that we have to deal with all these stigmatisms in society that's really, really tearing the home more and more further apart.
I do agree with the femininity part. I agree with that 110,000%.
That's why I say
that is so right, and that carries over with even with women on women. Please don't think it's just you. It's just women on women talking to men. No. It's women on women. We just so aggressive about. It's just, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I definitely try not to be aggressive. I really do. That is not my goal, to be aggressive. But I see it's so much now that women are just so aggressive to each other. It's like, why do you have to be so hard all the time?
Yes.
And
why is it that, and it's so true, like, why is it that woman on woman, instead of like supporting each other and lifting each other up, they break each other? Be happy for the success of this woman, and and support each other. Why is it that nowadays I feel like it's worse than back in the days when I was growing up, teenager? I never saw like women be so catty. Like,
I think it's that pressure. I don't agree with that. You have to push people, build people up. Like when I'm not with that agenda as, lift her up, say nice things all the time. That's because that's not realistic. I'm not.
No, but if
no,
you got promoted, I'll be happy for you.
I got it, but I don't want to say. I definitely want to say, you don't have to tear her down, whatever. Yeah, but picking up and told her on my back all the time because she did this, that. I just
all the time. Yeah,
I don't have that energy for that. So I wouldn't say that we need to do that all the time. And I think that builds a pressure on us. Just think, for instance, it's like, oh, okay. Just say, for instance, you got a new car. That's fine. Joanna got a new car. That's fine. But if I don't say, if you put it in a group that in our thing, me, you, and Dwayne, I got a new car. Okay, great. Now, if I don't say, that's great, I'm so happy for you, that I'm hating the fact that you got the car. I said in my heart, in my mind, I'm glad you got a car. I don't have why do that.
Yeah, but what I mean is, for example, like, let's just say, I don't know, someone talking bad about you, or somebody saying, just somebody but desiring the destruction, or not desiring the good for someone, for another woman, right? Like, because I feel like women have gone like just against each other, like you said, if you're not going to be, to me, I mind my own business. Like, I really don't, it's none of my business what people say. I'm kind of like, just in my own world, because like you said, I don't have to be applauding you all the time. But then again, I also mind my business. I don't talk bad about people, and I also don't talk good about people, because I'm busy with my life is super busy. But, but I'm saying, like, if you have nothing good to say, and that goes for men too. I feel like men too, men with men also, if you don't have anything good to say, like, people, women in the world, even in like working field, just don't say anything, because it just looks bad on your character or in your personality. But I've been experiencing that a lot with the people that are coming in, and even on sessions, like, oh, this woman said this about me, and I'm just like, why? Just, if you don't have anything to say, just don't.
We have so much to do. I don't.
Fuck doctor say, like.
But guess what? If you wrong and you did that and that was retarded, I'm gonna say you wrong. You shouldn't do that and that was retarded. I'm not gonna say, girl, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you down because I'm your girl. But that was fine. I'm not gonna do that. That's not me. I'm saying
me either. And some people don't like it. But that's another thing, Love Doctor. I feel like we should respect people's personality as well. Like, understand people's personality.
For the conversation.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you say?
I feel like people should respect.
I heard that little chime. It sounded like a thought just went off. Yeah.
But Tuli has really good points.
Absolutely.
Really good points. Like, people should respect people's personality. I'm very like, people sometimes feel like I'm some type of way because I don't go throwing you flowers, or I'm very like high, or I'm busy. People have different personalities out here. As long as they respect you, I think that's what matters.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing. You need to know how to respect. If you can respect somebody, then
facts.
Facts. A lot of things come with respect, admiration.
That's facts.
I'm saying a lot of stuff comes with that. That's the first step, is the respect.
Right.
So you won't have to. If I respect you as who you are and what you do, you don't have to have my praises all the time.
Facts.
Right. That's right. Respect is the word of the day. I really feel like that's important.
Respect is, yes. So let's go to what I was talking about. Oh, okay. Speaking of that, let me ask y'all something about a word that I heard, being that it's this domestic violence month. So you got a lot of things and read articles and stuff like that going on. But what is gaslighting? Do y'all know?
No, I don't know what that is, and I've heard that word used several times, and every time I hear it, is I don't think the people using it know what it means.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. You have a point. You do.
Okay, look it up for us, little doctor,
It's
please.
something. It's something new that came out, to be honest with you, as a mental health a person that works in the mental health field, I'm not totally with the gaslighting words. That's like a modern phrase that just came out.
Okay, so if you're not gonna do the word, what about the actual action?
It all depends, because you know what it is, that a lot of people are using gaslighting for certain things that are not gaslighting. So I feel like the more diagnoses, or the more words, or the more phrases we add, the more excuses we find, so it's like, oh, they're gaslighting me, so that's why I felt that way. And then I asked, what were they gaslighting about? Well, they told me that X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, it's kind of true. So the fact that you don't like what they just told you does not mean that it's gaslighting. You just don't like it. So now you're taking it as gaslighting. So I don't know. I'm very about that gaslighting, and there was a class about it, and I don't agree with it completely.
Okay, there we go. So, gaslight, manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity.
That's like verbal abusive. Let's just call it as verbal. Like I said, it could be misunderstood, gaslighting. Because let me give you the perfect example. Like somebody that drinks a lot. Like, you a drunkie, stop being an alcoholic, stop drinking like that. And then, maybe that person feels like that's gaslighting, but the reality is the truth.
No, I'm thinking the example I'm thinking about gaslighting is if I say
violent, right? Like verbally.
No, like Dwayne, let me see, Joanna, girl, let me see. You just making something, you really being really touchy today. I can't even talk to you. Is something wrong with you? You got something going, make you think that something's wrong with you. I may not say giving you a great example right now, but anyway, it's to make you think a certain way about yourself. So what was that definition you had for us, Wayne, on just now?
Oh, I just took it down. Let me put it back up. Give me 1 second.
Where we're coming?
There it is.
Colloquialism, loosely defined as making someone question, right, their own reality. Okay. 1944. Wow.
Oh, it's from a film called Gaslight. Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. But it's now popular. Like they're giving seminars, studies, classes about it, about that, like gaslighting specifically is being used a lot. Like you said, people are saying it without even knowing what it means. Like I see it all over Instagram, and it could happen. I just,
Wow. I just heard something I heard about before. Somebody said it. One time, and I did not know when the person said it. I was like, "What? They're trying to make me think that I'm crazy." What? It's gaslighting? And I was thinking to myself, I never heard it before until it was explained.
Yeah. So is gaslighting too, like, let's say you're coughing. I'm like, you have a cold? Check yourself. You have COVID? It's kind of like that, but mentally. So, like, at some point you start thinking, do I have a cold? Do I have COVID? It all depends on the other person's mental, how strong they are too, or intentions, right? Like, I didn't intend to say you had COVID. It's more like, hey, check yourself. It might be that you have COVID. Or it's the same thing with gaslighting. It could be like, whoa, the way you're acting, there might be something, mentally wrong. It might be intentionally saying like, all right, I want to make you think you're crazy. Or it might be like intentionally saying, hey, I care about you. Go check your mental health. So it's very, to me, I don't know. I'm in between with that gaslighting news situation. But it happens. There are people that manipulate words. It's manipulative, but
And people feel a certain way. Okay, you can roll one. Well, you have something? Bueno?
Yeah, I got. You mean something to share? Yeah.
All right.
You mean? Are you talking about an article? Do I have some article? Is that what you asking me? Or you mean? Do I have some more commentary on this subject?
Whatever you
Yes
want.
and yes. Yes and yes. Yes, I do have an article to share. Yes, I can provide more commentary on this subject. So this right here is also a symptom of what I refer to as legislative racism. Legislative racism, what they do is they take words and they redefine them, or they take a word that nobody means and they define them and add that ultimately causes confusion. And the way that someone continues to have power over you is to keep you in a confused state. If you're ever in a room full of people, the person who is the least confused in that room is going to be the person that has the greatest advantage. The people who are the most confused in that room are going to be people that have the greatest disadvantage. So what we have to do is we have to make certain that we take ourselves in our mind and we perceive it in a perception in a way where we can actually keep ourselves from operating in a state of confusion, such as the word gaslighting. A word that I know invented that I just recently heard was critical race theory, CRT. I've never heard of that. I've heard people try to explain it, and the more people try to explain it, the more different definitions I get, and it gets more and more confusing. Another word that I'm hearing, that I've been hearing, woke culture. These are words where the more I hear people talk about it, I don't even know what it meant, because I thought what it meant to be woke is something totally different from what everyone on TV and stuff is using. These are how they take words and they manipulate them and they use it to keep us in a confused state. So what I do in these situations, when I hear different words and stuff, I don't use them. But what you can do is you can start trying to create your own words.
Yeah.
And when you create your own words, that actually puts you in a position of authority where you now have an advantage over it. Something that we probably hit on last week was something along the lines of, we talked about reparations, right? We talked about the word reparations. And talking about the word reparations, what we actually did is we actually talked about different words that they use. It was still reparations, but different words and different methods that they use. So rather than going to someone and saying, hey, what's your take on reparations? You can go to someone, you can say, hey, what's your take on life insurance compensation? And they'll be like, what? And then you can start elaborating what life insurance compensation is. My ancestor, my grandfather, had a life insurance policy so that when they die, I was supposed to be the beneficiary of it. But the life insurance policy, they defaulted on it and they never paid me my benefits to it. And people be like, that's not fair. You're entitled to that. You need to get paid that. And they'll say, that makes sense. What that did is I just took the whole concept of reparation. I didn't use the word reparation. I created my own terminology, which put me in a situation where I was now at an advantage. And the people who did not know the definition of the word, they were at a disadvantage. So they had to listen to me to give them understanding as to what it is that I'm talking about. It. These are how legislative racism works when they're making laws, when they're writing all different types of policies. They're using terminology that we don't know, and we have to constantly go to them to find out what it actually means. This is what the Supreme Court does, to go and interpret, and they give you the definition of what this law was actually supposed to mean. That being said, Tulin, what I want to do is I want to segue into something, because we're talking about laws, right? And we're talking about legislative racism last week. What I want to do is I wanted to share with y'all my article for the week, and my article for the week was something really, really interesting. This right here, you guys may have already heard of, but for those who haven't, President Biden, he just agreed to pardon all federal offenses of simple marijuana possession in his first major steps towards decriminalization. Paraphrasing, people who are currently incarcerated in jail for marijuana offenses are going to be freed and let go. Do y'all see this right here?
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
Biden, it's already in effect. He just did it. I think a few hours ago. So this is just breaking news. This article right here was just written 5:39.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be all over the news. And if it's not, it's already starting to see it on the news, and it'll definitely be on the news tomorrow. But here's the thing that I want to do, because it ties into what we talked about legislative racism. We talked about the topic of words and what words actually means. Something about this article and the word I'm hearing is I'm hearing the word Simple. Simple. He's pardoning simple marijuana possession. What is a simple marijuana possession? Nobody knows what a simple marijuana possession is. So now we have to go to those people, legislation, to define and interpret what the word simple means to determine what is indeed simple marijuana possession. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, that's today's segment for words and how they use them.
You look it up to find out?
Deceiving.
Oh, you did not look it up to find out?
Simple marijuana. I don't know what it means. I'm waiting for the news reporters and all to find what it means. I don't know what Biden means when he says simple marijuana charges. That's that's terminology that he created. So whenever you create your own terminology, the people must then go to you to find out what the interpretation is.
So what's wrong with that? Because we just said we can do it. What's wrong with it? We just don't like the fact that they take advantage of it with us. But is nothing wrong with them doing it?
I encourage more people to do it. I think that we all should do it. We all should exercise creating our own words, creating our own terminology. That when we walk in rooms and we have discussions, people have to listen to what we have to say because they don't know what we're talking about unless we tell them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can assume what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, we have a comment in the chat. The comment in the chat means that it's misdemeanor. But here's the thing. Why would someone be in a federal prison over a misdemeanor charge of marijuana? So that's my first question. This is not jail. This is federal prison. These are people in federal prison. So if people in federal prison, he said he's going to let the people who are in federal prison for misdemeanors. Again, Royal Kadash may very well be correct. It just goes on to that confusion is brought up in the word simple marijuana. So we now must go to him and let him define what it actually means. Bam. What's y'all take on that, Resident Joe Tooley? Marijuana getting free. Talk to me.
It's a felony, but it could. I mean, it's a misdemeanor, but it could be, but can be a felony. So, like if you've been charged twice, seriously.
Illegal. It's legal in New Jersey.
Marijuana is legal in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. They have restaurants go and have like infused food with marijuana.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I think it's legal in a lot of places now, isn't it? And on top of that, what Biden is also doing, he's urging all the state governors to follow suit and in their individual state, because he's on control on the federal level, but he's also urging the governors for each state to follow suit and go ahead and pardon all their prisoners that's been incarcerated for past crimes in regards to simple marijuana.
He said that it's no one should be in jail just using or possessing marijuana. This is what he said. So, I don't know.
So my question is, what is a simple marijuana charge? And what is a complicated marijuana charge? I don't know.
I think he's referencing possession.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think it depends on how much you had when they arrested you.
But you see how it operates us, and it kind of keeps us in a state of confusion because realistically, we're all assuming what he means, but we really don't know. This is a tactic that is used by legislative racism. One of my first encounters with the whole political aspect, I remember years ago when I was like, I'm voting. I remember it was Amendment 1. And Amendment 1 was basically saying taxes, that we're going to lower taxes. What they're going to do is they're going to lower the homestead taxes for people who own homes. They're going to lower the homestead taxes. And I remember all the school teachers, all the police officers, a lot of them were sitting there protesting, saying, do not vote yes for Amendment 1. If you vote yes for Amendment 1, then they're going to cut the police department. They're going to cut the school teachers. They're going to make all different types of cuts. And it's going to impact all of us. Here's the thing, though. When you look at the legislation of what Amendment 1 says, Amendment 1 is me paraphrasing. It literally said, paraphrasing literally, lower the homestead exemption taxes, but this will not affect the education system or the police department. It literally said it will not affect them. But yet all the teachers and all the police officers were sitting there saying, hey, this will affect us. No matter what it says, they're lying. This actually will affect us. Well, you know what? I thought that they were idiots. I'm like, man, y'all teachers are idiots and y'all police officers are idiots, because the Amendment 1, clearly the language in there says that it won't affect you. It is written in there. And sure, if it's written there, that means what it has to be true, right? Mm-hmm. Amendment 1, people voted for Amendment 1, it got passed, and just as sure, school teachers laid off, police officers cut back. And I was like, wow, the terminology on words and how they word stuff, it can be very deceiving. That's all.
That's true.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know where was it that I read. I don't know if you guys have heard of some news where they were allowing pedophiles to adopt children. And
I will Google that article right now. I will Google that.
Yeah,
article right now.
I think I was reading that today while I was, and I forgot to share it, but they were allowing pedophiles to adopt children. What is going
I
on?
will see if I pull that article up.
Sexually unstable mentality.
Yeah, so that brings me to the topic that we were talking about: sexually unstable humans out there, you know, with mental issues about sexual. They might have hypersexual. It might be a phase in their mental health illness, right? Because like if you're bipolar, it comes with sexual desires. When you have a main phase of your life, or if you have any kind of mental issue. But the world, I feel like the world is not understanding. Or were you able to find that by any chance?
So I see an article, but I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Can you be a little bit more specific, or would you like me to just share the article that I found and you let me know if it's incorrect?
Yeah, just share, because anyway, like anything that has, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So this is what I have right now. It says a pedophile was allowed to adopt a child.
2017.
Somebody, from July, says somebody named Mark Frost abused schoolboys in the store. Is this something similar to what you're referring to?
Kind of, but this was it was actually people fighting and to allow pedophiles to be able to have the opportunity to adopt children and just basically go out in society and like.
So what should I type in Google to help search for it?
Pedophile adoption campaign.
Let me see if I can find it. In the meantime, what do you guys think has caused, or what do you think causes people to, because as a psychologist or psychiatrist or therapist, they teach us to think is the brain, and in a way we kind of find an excuse into their behavior. But what do you guys think about having this human beings out in the world with this mentality about sex, pedophilia, raping, or just in general, mental health when it comes to sex in particular? What do you think caused that?
Patterns, relationship patterns that they've been taught, that they've seen, they've witnessed. So that's how it continues. I think it's a pattern that you've seen, you've been exposed to. And until that person sees if it's wrong, sees the wrong, if it's there, that pattern is going to continue. So I think the home is just such a very vital and important part of society that people often take for granted and do not protect it as it should be. But because that is where, we eat, sleep, and play at home. So we're spending a lot of time there, and that's why that's a very important nucleus of the whole person. So I think that causes them to do that because of the pattern. They've seen that pattern because a lot of times people just don't come up with stuff sometimes. It's a taught behavior, whether you remember it or not. It's like, what? You were 2 years old. I know they remember that. Yeah, I did, and it shows. So you just see that link? But yeah, so it shows. But I think that's part of it.
Okay.
The relationships that people have and how they are, it starts at home for what they see.
Definitely. What about you, Doctor? What do you think is causing these people to this behavior on people?
I couldn't even I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even try to rationalize it. You know what I'm saying? Before you came on earlier today, before we started the show, I was asking Thule more so about, the terminology sexually unstable mentality. And I was more so like what does that really clearly means? A sexually unstable mentality seems so broad. Help me narrow it down a little bit.
Right. There's so many ways. Just for us, we study it as if I was giving therapy to a pedophile, I have to understand where it comes from. So what Tuli is saying is patterns. Well, it's mainly it has something to do with it, but I don't think we can narrow it because it could be, like I said, it could be a phase of mania where is a part of your life where you can't control because the frontal lobe of your brain is completely damaged. So
what you call it? Mania?
Mania, like just a phase of mental illness.
Mania. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So usually it's an addiction. So it could be an addiction to sex. It could be an addiction to food, alcohol. That's how the brain has developed addiction towards that because of the trauma, the pattern that had in the past. So, or it could be hypersexual. People just love sex and they want to have sex every day, but it was also caused by a pattern of trauma in their life. So all the sex, mental health that has to do with sex was called, or food. It's very funny because when we actually describe that, we describe the food addiction and the sex addiction very similar because the parts of the brain that are affecting this are the same parts. So the frontal lobe is affected by the back part of the brain, which is the hippocampus, and then it creates some chemicals where it provokes you to do something without thinking of the consequences. So rapists at the moment is that mental health problem where they want to do it because that part of the brain in the back remembers that this is a good feeling. It could have been they were raped or they were molested. Now they experience that good feeling and their brain just shoots an idea of like, hey, this is gonna feel good. Do it. And then those chemicals start creating in the brain. So all of a sudden the frontal lobe starts makes decisions and not able to make that correct decision. That's why when I do therapy, I always tell people, let's create a discipline in your life where you're able to control your actions. Because people are not able to control action because of all the trauma. It could have been rape. Again, it could have been that they saw porn at a young age. But mania can also be developed as masturbation. Like you want to masturbate every 2 hours of the day. So it's usually created by something that happened, like Tuli said, in their household. They call it as they damage a part of the brain where like they call it when you're in an issue, you're not able to make a decision. So because let's just say every human, I'm not gonna say this and end it because every human has a part of the brain where it helps you make a decision. But if you go through a trauma in your life, that part is damaged. So let's just say that you're being raped at home. So it's normal that you're in the streets and you are robbed. Your instincts were run, so you can protect yourself. But what if you're home and you're being raped or being abused at home? That part gets damaged because it's constantly saying you need to protect yourself, you need to protect yourself. So it's too much work, so it gets damaged. Eventually, you're not able to make decisions because it was damaged while you were growing up because of the trauma. You could have been, again, raped or molested constantly. So usually a lot of pedophiles come from that background where they were exposed to porn at a young age, they were raped at a young age, or anything like that. So the frontal lobe part of the brain is not working properly. So, and the chemicals is the dopamine and adrenaline.
Oh,
Welcome, Confederate 48 to the show. What's going on? What's going on, buddy?
Hey, good evening, folks. How are you
Good
tonight?
evening, buddy.
Miss Tooley, President Joe, the one and only Love Doctor, Rod Smith in his absence. Yeah, I was listening to the show throughout the day, and it's a very interesting topic that you all have on tonight. It's obvious that I'm no type of counselor in terms of what they would call men are from Venus and women are from Mars. But I do know there is a contrast when it comes to men and women in relationships, and when it comes to abuse. And I know you guys use the keyword violence is associated with it. I do believe it's cultural to us in the sense standpoint, because when you kind of like mingle or interact with different cultures, we pick up things, good, bad, and indifference. A lot of things that the so-called Negro do now had been adopted from their oppressors, like Love Doctor had said, legislative racism does play a part of it. It's a major part, but not the only part, because we do have freedom of choice. We can choose to treat our mates properly, and we can choose to treat them badly. It's all on what you're trying to do. In the words of Rod Smith, he would say it's all about what you're trying to do.
right.
And as Ms. Tooley had said, it's a learned behavior, because there's certain things that I see other cultures do in terms of relationships that I say that, the so-called black men and women wouldn't dare do that. But now that we see it integrated into our culture as well, and with a lot of the culture mixing, black and white, Latino, and you bring on different cultures into your culture, and you begin to experiment different types of things with your mate. One thing I found disturbing with the Hispanic community is that their daughters, they have what you call a quinceañera at the age of 15, and it's basically giving the daughter the right to be able to be with a grown man, or saying that they're ready for womanhood, which I totally disagree with. And this can bring on, pedophilia and all different types of, unseemly types of behavior. So, and now you see it, you see it being showcased in a lot of different other cultures as well. And Love Doctor, that was a question I wanted to ask you. Did you, by any chance, take journalism or went to school for broadcasting journalism, anything?
No, sir.
Well, I must say that you are very, very cunning and crafty when it comes to the broadcasting and your journalism skills. And my hat goes off to you, because you orchestrate the show pretty well, as well as Miss Tooley and you too, Resident Joe. And I just wanted to give you your kudos for that, because a lot of the topics you bring up and a lot of information that you bring to the platform is very, very therapeutic, very educational, and it gives you something to contemplate. And Miss Tooley, your skills, they resonate with me, because I had actually a couple of shows ago about you know, a friend of mine was dealing with issues, and you were telling me, you know, he had to focus on self-care. And you know, when you, and I'm going to try to tie that into relationships, when you can care for yourself and have a good esteem for yourself, and you value yourself, you will value another person. You know, I hate to use the cliche phrase, but it's somewhat true that hurt people hurt people. And so, and to Resident Joe, when we have dialogue and we open up to our mates, and then we become transparent, I think that minimizes a lot of friction between, you know, couples, and it doesn't become verbally abusive and physically abusive, because no one likes surprises, especially when it's something that they don't expect, you know. But at the end of the day, we're individuals, and you're trying to fuse two lives together, you know, and trying to make it out to be one, and there's going to be indifferences, but that doesn't give you the right to abuse one physically or mentally. And I think for women, a lot of the time, because they think the man is so strong, appear to be so strong and so masculine and things, that they don't really show an emotional side. But we hurt on the inside a lot of times when our mates say certain things to us, and we may not lash out right then and there, but it affects us to the degree of when it comes to performance. I know for myself, it affects my morale when me and my wife have disagreements or arguments, and I kind of wear that not on my sleeve, but I wear that, and it wears me down. And then I try to be the bigger person and try to reconcile whatever indifferences we have, so we can't continue on it for the relationship to become toxic. So I just wanted to say that. I know we're about to get ready to close out tonight, but there's 4 things I do want to say. Hit the share, hit the like, hit the cash app, and hit the subscribe. Once again, 2 Minds of the Mic, the greatest show on the air. Hob you all.
I do. Thank you.
And it's so good to know that you guys are holding a standard, and you allow common people such as myself to come in with questions, ideas, and comments. So this is Confederate State 48 saying good night. Hob you all. See you next Thursday.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. Good night.
And guys, I did find the article. It says an unnamed pervert has been given the green light to adopt a 10-year-old son. So yeah, that's what I found the article.
I know you're working on your phone. Are you able to take that link and copy it into the private chat, or your phone still won't allow you to do that?
I found it in my computer. That's why it says approve adoption request. I found it. Okay, it's called pedophile allowed to adopt child. It's in Sweden, but I heard that it's coming to America. But
Sweden.
Yeah. But next week I'll find a video so I can.
Or the week after, because we still got it. We will probably not be.
Oh, that's right.
Or
Right.
May. No. Pedophile allowed to adopt.
Look at the culture. Look at the culture.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. I just don't understand why would that be possible? But protect our children, people. Please protect our children.
Facts.
Just to say something really quick. I have, maybe the next time we air, something I want to share with you guys that I found very, very disturbing. So I'm gonna really try to get it out to share with you all. But I do want to make sure that it's sensitized, if that's the proper word to use, because it is very, very disturbing. There's some things that happened back in the Renaissance period and the times between the medieval period and the Renaissance period in Europa, what they call Europe, what some of the emperors and a lot of the people of the upper echelon did with children is very, very, very disturbing, to say the least. And I don't see how it could went on, but it was common practice back in those days. And if it was common practice back then, I know that some form of it still being, utilized today. So I want to share that with you guys. The next time we have a show, I know probably next week we won't be on the air, but whenever we do get back on the air, I do want to share that with you all and get your comments on it as well.
All right.
Hey man, always good to see you again, and definitely thank you
Absolutely.
again for calling in.
Hey, but real quick, Love Doctor, I'm gonna tell you something, real quick. The winter time is coming, right? You're gonna have a lot of people jump on the turtleneck bandwagon. They may not never say it, but they gonna do it. I'm trying.
They
to
can't fight it,
know
man. They
this.
can't fight it, man. They can't fight it. Appreciate
With
you.
the blazer, they gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, appreciate you. Thanks again. Y'all take care.
That's
Tulip.
so crazy.
Resident Joe, take us home.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. As we said and mentioned, we will not be here, Yahweh, next week because we are going to a huge party and we are going to have a great time. So, but we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We hope that there's something that was shared that, you know, will help you or help someone that you know. And I do want to give y'all the number to domestic violence hotline, and it's 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. Call them if you need any assistance. So I will leave you with this. Some people look for a beautiful place. Others make a place beautiful.
Aww, beautiful.
I like that.
Are beautiful. Good night. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Good night, everybody. Yeah.
We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Lee on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The Love Doctor going live on the radio. 2 mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind.
All right. You do something better. I'll do something better. And we will be better together. Until next week. Love Doctor. You're so lame. Good night, Love Doctor.
Good night, Tulip.
Talk to this.